Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Best teammates.
We are the saviours of the Best Teammates podcast. All right, let's do a quick roll call. Matt Burgess, Rosie Panetta, Andy Martin. Yes.
Jarrod Walsh.
Yeah, I'm here. Welcome to Best Teammates, proudly presented by Con and Lena at the Brighton Trophy Centre. We are the most committed. We have no excuses. We are here. We are good to go. Rosie apparently has had a kid, and Matt's missus is apparently at the dentist. So we're doing this. We're like, no. We still got to put out some content for people because I don't care who listens to this, how many people listen to this. I leave Ozcast all the time wondering if you've beeped out the right words because I don't want to be cancelled, and we've done it so far.
Well, I'm going to say first up, the excuses sound like I was going to say my mum ate my homework, but that wasn't the excuse.
My mum ate my homework?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking about just some MILF stuff and some homework stuff and brought them together. That's basically what happened there, and I can say that because I'm a single man just doing my single thing.
Yeah, you would. Are you really?
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
I'm a single father with 2 daughters.
There's a lot to talk about today, actually, when you think about it. So we'll get through as much as we can in about 30 minutes. I've ruined the toilet here at Oscar, so sorry about that.
No, you're welcome.
I saw Con on Friday.
Did ya?
Yeah, I had an event for the radio station I work at, and
You can say it. It's fine.
What do you mean? Con?
No, you can say SEN.
Well,
or does it depend if people listen to this in a year's time? You might be working for another one.
no, I'd like to think that I'd be working there in a year's time, but who knows? It's radio, mate. Gaslighting.
Yeah, you're not saving lives, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, be my guy, mate. Your name's on the show. Billboard, see ya. All right. Anyway, I'm going to do the show out of Melbourne. What was funny, though, I went up and said g'day to Con. So we got together all of the sponsors, and I genuinely got on the microphone and I'm like, we want to spend time with you and get to know you. It wasn't just like lip service and then the clients come on board and you make yourself unavailable to meet them.
Sounds familiar.
Okay, so they wanted to spend some time with us, and it was fantastic. I did that. But I went to say g'day to Con, and for some reason he started sweating. And like, I've never seen...
Like nervous, or was it warm in there?
It wasn't warm. And like, I've introduced Con to someone that I know who used to work at Port Adelaide, and Con's standing there and it's noticeable, right? Con's like, yeah, I'm sweating. The guy from Port Adelaide's like, yeah, I can tell. Like, he's dripping with sweat, and I have no idea what's happening. And I thought, are you okay here? Like,
well, it's been a busy time in the trophy industry, so he's hard.
I've never seen someone sweat so much. He was sweating more.
Working very hard.
He was sweating more than your mum at a paternity test.
He was sweating more than me with a court appearance.
It was just dripping. It was just dripping. There's other ones as well.
Was it one of those things where he shook the hand and his hand was like it had just come out of the ocean?
Pretty much. He was sweating more than a sex offender in a playground.
You know what? I listened back to those ones where you were doing the other versions of whatever, the names or whatever, and or the type of person descriptions, and it is hilarious.
I know.
At the time, I feel like it didn't get enough from all of us, so I appreciate it.
Thank
you.
I
find it hilarious. Can you give us some more?
No, because they're really bad.
No, this is a podcast. We can do whatever we want.
So can you beep the next one?
No.
So I can't do it. I can't do it. Sweating like a blind in a shop.
Oh, that's pretty standard.
You got to beep that. Beep that.
Yeah. Actually, I found out during the week that there's a new thing with this desk that I haven't worked out yet, that it has a cough button.
What, this?
Yeah, it mutes everything, and it also has a swear button. So if you can... and there's a third one, but the second one with a swear button, there's an actual swear beep. So the same ones that I put into the...
this?
Yeah, on this. And it mutes everyone's microphones, and it beeps out whatever's going on. And there's another one called...
so you got to press it before you swear.
Yeah, you got to know what's going on. And there's also another one called... I'd have to look it up again. It's like shitty talk or something like that.
Yeah.
It's actually called that. And basically what it does, it's called like shit talk. And what it does is if you're interviewing someone online, you can press it, you can continue talking, and it mutes. They can't hear you.
Yeah, okay.
So you can talk.
Well, it'd be
to a
great if you
producer
learned how to use it. You've had the studio for a couple of years, so it'd be good.
Yeah.
Just know how to press record sometimes. So
Oh, fuck, we're going to record.
there's a bit to talk about, actually. I think I wanted to have a chat about radio very soon. I wanted to also get your opinion on this, Andy, because you've worked in entertainment for a long time, and it would have been good if Matt was here to get his opinion and Rosie to interrupt us for the whole time.
You're referring to Miss Nude Australia, or are you talking about radio?
I did have to go and...
Did you?
Judge Miss Nude Australia at the Palace one night, I believe.
Yeah, no, or mine was at the Crazy Horse.
Maybe mine was too.
It would have been.
Did we go together?
No, I was with Paul Curran.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that Spider-Man meme.
And then I had to go to a Mix 102.3 outside broadcast the next morning, 4 hours after I finished.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Yeah,
so I did a wedding in McLaren Vale on the weekend.
Yep.
MC'd a wedding. I don't MC weddings. It's not my thing, right? I don't feel like
but I feel like you would have had a lot of invitations to do so.
I've had a few requests, but funnily enough, I've only been at 2 weddings where I wasn't the guest that I MC'd. So that was actually getting familiar with the staff being taken care of when you MC a wedding. So I went down to McLaren Vale, and it had been a really tough week. I went to Snoop Dogg last week, which was insane. It was incredible. Saw D12, who are now D2, because one of them's dead, one of them's in prison, and one of them just doesn't want anything to do with it. And Eminem's there.
The other 10 had gone elsewhere.
No, there's only 6 in D12. They call themselves the Dirty Dozen, but each of them have 2 names. So like Marshall Mathers is 2 names.
Yeah, right. Never knew that.
Yeah, so it's great. And Snoop Dogg was awesome on International Women's Day. He brought out heaps of strippers and stuff, and it was... My missus and I had a massive fight on the way home, and I walked half the way home from the entertainment centre. It was like full on, stop the car! And I walked home, and I regret it straight away because I'm like, I've got to get up in 4 hours, and now I'm walking back to Semaphore.
Yeah, but it saved you going to the gym the next day or doing the snake pit.
That's true. Well, both at the same time.
And also the forum.
So I start driving towards McLaren Vale, and I aim to get there at about 4 o'clock. I wanted to go have a look at the venue and then also speak to the DJ from a particular DJ company in South Australia that I've spoken about on this podcast before, where normally they're quite challenging.
Did we all work for them before?
I haven't. No, we haven't. We haven't. So anyway, this DJ was okay. You know who I'm talking about.
I do.
So he came up and introduced himself, and he was fine. Prior to that, though, I'd pulled over the side of the road. And I'm like, I'm actually a bit tired. So I had to sleep. I went to like a playground and pulled the car up and literally reclined the chair and had a sleep.
We were going fine until you said playground. Now it seems weird.
You're looking at me with weird eyes, and as you should.
I watch a lot of Cops.
Well, what woke me up was I was getting sunburn on the right-hand side of my body because I was too scared to leave the car on with the air conditioning. Because people
were you in the ute?
Yes.
In the back?
No, I was in the driver's seat.
Oh.
But I think people would have thought I was gassing myself if I had the car on and I was asleep. So I changed locations to another part of the road where cars kept coming past. And I was worried that someone was going to come and knock on the window and seen my suit was there because I wasn't in my suit at the time, and some of my belongings because I'm mid-moving house, and they would have thought, geez, this is what's happened with Jarrod Walsh. It was like a full Centrelink moment where he's like living out of his car.
Yeah, he's literally living out of his free Mitsubishi Triton.
In McLaren Vale. Like, what the hell is going on?
He's a drunk now. He's looking for wine.
Exactly. So I ended up going to the wedding, and the wedding was running a little bit late. So as an MC, my role, I feel I take on kind of like an event manager role too. You've got the running sheet. You've got to make sure everything's on time. But you go up to the bride and groom and say, just to let you know, according to the running sheet, your speeches are at 8:30. So they're in about 5 minutes. Are you ready to go? I'll get everybody ready. So it got to that point, and they said, yep, we're ready to go. So at that point, I went to the other DJ and I said, hey, speeches are on in 5 minutes. Yeah. You're all good? Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I start living my life via songs. So instead of going, in 5 minutes, I'm going to do this, I'll say at the end of the next song.
Yeah,
because I feel that works out to be about 5. And you want it to sound good anyway, not someone just pull the music down straight away.
Yeah, exactly. You go, hey, look, we'll do the speeches in 2 songs time.
Exactly. It's a great hook.
Yeah,
and so
2 songs in a row.
Then the video guy came up to me, and this was his sentence. He said, hey, we've made a decision that myself and the photographer can finish our meal, then we can get into the speeches. Now, at that point, my response, I'm not putting any like mayo on this or anything, but
was it fuck you?
I was thinking that. But at that point, I thought, no, I'm going to answer this quite directly.
Yeah.
And I said,
no, we learned that. Direct with respect.
correct.
Yes.
Rhymes.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, sorry, mate. So can you just repeat that? Because what I thought you said was that you're going to finish your meal and then the bride and groom can have their speeches. And he said, yeah, we made that decision.
Mate, you chill out. You finish your chicken or your beef, whatever you've chosen.
Yep.
And you then come over to me when you're ready, and
Yep.
then we'll sort out what they're going to do.
This is, I believe, the expectation. So I said, okay, so this is what you're asking. He said, well, I don't know why you're being so hostile. I said, I'm just trying to get my head around the fact that you have asked to put this wedding on hold so you can finish your meal. He said, well, yes, I don't see why you're being so hostile because we have a window of time to eat, and that is now, and the bride and groom are fine with it. And I said, funnily
who does he
enough,
think the talent is?
I know. 5 minutes prior, I said to the bride and groom, are you guys ready to do your speeches? Because if you do your speeches, then you're on the dance floor. You don't have to worry about anything else for the rest of the night. All formalities done.
Yep.
So he's gone, no, I'm not putting the wedding on hold, but we made a decision. And I said, I can't get my head around the fact that you cannot wait for your meal, or you cannot put your meal on hold so you can capture the speeches. And I started laughing. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Well, I don't understand why you're being so hostile. And I wanted to get angry, and I've never been like angry before. I was really close, and I have no real like close connection with the bride and groom. They're friends of a friend, but I felt that I was speaking on behalf of them, going, bro, this night is not about you. So the way he communicated it to me, he went back and finished his meal or whatever, and then I started the speeches, and then I was very much so, guys, we've got a videographer and a photographer here that want to capture all this. It would have been real passive aggressive, right? So I put it on my social media afterwards, just saying this is what I encountered, and I wanted to get everybody's take on this because being part of the entertainment for a wedding, I understand that the venue will bring you out food. You've got a window of time to eat.
Yeah.
My issue is this. If the venue didn't take the food out to the videographer and the photographer prior to everyone else, you eat at the same time, right? You just eat in a room away from everyone. Eat at the same time, and then you are fine. You won't miss anything. A couple of digital people got in touch and said they've been working 16-hour days and all this other stuff. I get it. It's great to get their insight. Don't communicate it to me and say, we've made a decision that I can finish my meal. Come to me and go, hey, do you mind having a chat with the bride and groom? We've got our meal here. We're about 5 minutes away. Are you good with that? Don't say this is what you're doing.
What's 15 minutes to stop, do your actual job, and then finish your meal afterwards?
I couldn't agree more with you. So this is why I took on board what the people were saying who work in the digital space and have been working long days. But also, you are being paid so much money.
I was just going to say,
work.
They're earning thousands of dollars for that day.
So much money.
Prepare yourself for that. Don't worry about the food that's coming out. You'll get fucking fat if you're going to be eating wedding food every weekend.
If your main focus is to worry about the food all day, you are there for the wrong reasons. And don't crack the shits about it. Like, the thing that annoys me sometimes about these DJs and these video people, yes, we know that you do several weddings a weekend. We get it. The bride and groom don't need to know that. They need to think that their wedding is the most important wedding that you have done, and it is the best thing that you have done.
It's basic client.
It is
client stuff.
Yeah, so it just annoyed me, and it really, really frustrated me. And I wanted to have a few drinks, but I couldn't because I had to drive home from Serafino. So
also, you get a bit truthful on the old microphone if you did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I also got eyes.
I get eyes every time I do weddings.
Apparently, there was a woman there with someone else that they were mimicking the movie Wedding Crashers, where they were invited to the wedding, but one of these women, they were rating people on each table and giving like their top 10 of people that they would have liked to have relations with. I don't think I made the top 10, but I got eyes though. So that maybe top 20.
Well, you wouldn't have made the top 10 because you weren't on the tables. So you would just be in this whole like VIP group.
Yeah,
that's
right.
automatically going to get it no matter what.
Gonna get it.
you go and get it, son.
Don't call me son. Okay, Dad. Daddy.
I've waited many years for you to say that to me.
Yeah, so it was pretty full. How was your time away? You went over to the some regional South Australia or whatever.
Mate, I went to fantastic Broken Hill.
Cool.
And,
is that's New South Wales, isn't it? It's close. New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia all come together.
Yeah, it's New South Wales, technically, but they're considered South Australians. So, like, they watch the South Australian news on TV. They have South Australian programs.
Isn't the Flying Doctors in Broken Hill?
Fuck, I don't know.
Okay. Don't you go on like a shit tour of every city you go to, though?
Yeah, but I didn't go on the Royal Flying Doctor tour.
Where did you go?
I went to the Mad Max Museum. Yep. I went to...
How was that?
It was... Well, I've never seen it, so... Paid my $7, went in there, had a look around.
Wait a sec. So you have no idea what you're looking at?
Yep.
Because you've never seen the movie.
I learnt what the movie was about while I was there.
What is the movie about?
I don't know. Like some crazy ass cars that have been done up with because that was Mad Max 2. So there was Mel Gibson was in it, I believe. It was done in the 80s.
I think he was in them all.
I don't know. I've seen them. Hey, check out my movie podcast.
Is this movie for you?
Hey, don't bring that up, mate. That broke up with the relationship, all right? It's online just for getting views.
Is this relationship for you?
Yeah. I can tell you the answer was no. But yeah, basically, I was working in Broken Hill, right? There's not much else other than Broken Hill. There's nothing.
It's very broken.
Yeah, it's
Is there a hill that's broken?
Yeah, I made a call to a mate that used to live there. I said, "Hey, mate, is there a hill that's broken?" He's like, "Well, actually, look to your right, and there's this massive, big, huge mound of fucking shit in a hill, and there was a big building on top. You just go up there, and it was a miners' memorial." Not for underage children, but for because Broken Hill is a big mining town, and it always has been.
Yes.
And
what do they mine?
Just fucking coal. I don't know. But the memorial was there for all the miners that died since since like 1833 or whatever.
Vale.
And everyone that died in this memorial, it had who died, how they died, and when they died.
Yeah.
So took
Real
lots of
uplifting.
photos. Had a great time. No, it was pretty sad to be honest. Especially like when you go like heart failure or squash between trucks or mine collapse and they suffocated. Okay, cool, good content.
Jesus.
So went there, but unfortunately, because Broken Hill, once you step 1 foot out of Broken Hill, like the main street, there's no Optus coverage. So I had no contact with the world, no matter where.
That's kind of good, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
But annoying when you're trying to work.
Yeah, when I was trying to work, like where I was staying was like 10 k's out of Broken Hill, and they had no Wi-Fi where I was staying, and also there's no phone coverage, so no one can get in contact with me, and I couldn't do any work, so I had to watch normal TV. Like, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying?
What'd you watch?
Channel 9.
Okay.
A lot of Claire Murphy on the commercials over there, a lot of Eddie Byer.
What are they doing? Oh, voiceover stuff.
Voiceovers, yeah. And then, headed up to Silverton, which is about like 10 k's out of, or 20 k's out of Broken Hill, which is like their main sort of tourism thing for movies and stuff. And so that's where they film Mad Max.
Do they give you a car?
Yeah, I had a car.
And what do you listen to when you're driving around?
Podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah. Generally, Best Teammates. That's about it.
A lot of people do that. And I find their listening habits and consumers are so different, hey?
Yeah, and you download like within the app, so you can listen to it no matter if you've got coverage or not. So that kind of works, especially with flights and stuff like that. That works well too.
One of my messages got read out on the Marty Sheargold show the other day. It was a private message I sent to one of the team members, and they read it out because Marty was talking about. Yeah, I'm always supportive of it. Yeah. Marty was talking about what happens when you put your finger through toilet paper accidentally, and I messaged one of the team members and said what it was called, and they read it out on the air.
That's awesome.
It's called a brown ballerina.
Do you want to edit that so it sounds good?
Yeah, it's got a ballerina.
Yeah, fix it in post, mate.
So let's talk about radio.
Speaking of which, Broken Hill radio station, so it's like Hill FM or something like that. The building is a radio. Do you want to show the photo?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah,
it's great.
Mate, it's all content.
It is content. I mean, it's an audio.
Just fucking relax, mate. I'll put it online. And we'll point people
on the Twitter.
On the Twitter, mate. We'll just get our content guy to fucking put it up. All right, I'll do it now. Buddy, keep talking.
This is the best part. Yeah, can you beep this? Or just put some kind of a few minutes later.
Yeah. Went past the Broken Hill Correctional Services area, the jail.
How was that?
Pretty locked up.
I wonder if you can do tours
small.
of the prison.
Well, you can. There's an old jail that can do tours.
Nah, but you want to go and see criminals, don't you?
Yeah, true. Well, like...
Alcatraz.
Well, okay.
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this and if I'll get in trouble.
We'll get your beep thing ready.
No, it was a whole sentence. So basically, like, what happens with some jail workers, and what they do is that everyone that jail has a and what they do is they and they on these that are made with. So I guess we'll probably edit this whole thing out because it's probably going to get in court or something like that, and I'll get. I
like that. That's the longest beep we have ever had on the podcast, and all people would have heard is beep. So that's great. I'm fine with that. But they did miss out on a great story. Hey, while you're looking for the boring photo, so there's some big news that I was pretty vocal about because it's quite triggering for me that happened in Sydney. Kate Richie, who was on originally Kate, Tim and Marty.
Yep.
Prior to that, she was on Nova with Merrick and Rosso with Kate Richie.
Oh, yeah.
I once flew to Sydney to cover their best of show for 2 weeks. So I just had to anchor their best of show for 2 weeks. That's ages ago.
So what, ins and outs and paneling it?
That's literally it.
Wow.
Literally it. Nova flew me over there for 2 weeks. And
so they had no larger budgets.
Exactly.
Right? And they gave it.
So she, at the end of last year, took some time off because of some personal issues, and she had from what she said, a pretty dependent relationship with alcohol. So she took some time off to focus on her life. Her marriage broke down, and she's got a young daughter. So I think it's the right decision to do that, to take time off to focus on your family and make sure you get yourself right. So you're in the best position to be a parent, let alone an employee.
Yep.
What we found, though, over the past few weeks, the Sydney Breakfast Show, Fitzy and Wippa, they featured one of their co-hosts, Sarah Mcgilvray, who was on the show quite loosely early because she was a producer, and then they brought her in as part of the show. Similar to my role when I was on the shortest breakfast show ever, Dylan and Haley, where my voice was really
with Jarrod
present.
Walsh.
Well, Sarah was in the photos, but it was never
you
called.
weren't, were you?
No, thanks. It was never called Fitzy and Wippa and Sarah, but everybody knew who Sarah was. But she kind of went missing. Kate Richie was supposed to return to Nova recently, and everyone thought it was back in the drive show. Yep. Ricky Lee has been filling that role with Tim Blackwell and Joel Creasy. What we discovered at the end of last week was that Ricky Lee was joining the show full time. I feel that they must have had a good chemistry, and they've got some momentum going into 2023.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Kate Richie? And the rumours were true, and it was announced last Friday that Kate was going to join Fitzy and Wippa, which is now called Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Richie. Who's left over? Sarah Mcgilvray.
Yeah.
No one heard from her. No one saw anything on social media. It wasn't addressed on the air until Tuesday's show, I believe. Monday's or Tuesday's show.
Literally disappeared into thin air.
Literally disappeared into thin air. And this was a see you later. We'll give a little tip of the hat to you, and you're gone. And I really feel for her because after all of that work, no matter what was behind the decision making of putting Kate into the breakfast show, in my opinion, and I might be incorrect, she may be contracted to the station. And the reason I think that is because she's on from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. each morning. 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. That's the same length as a drive show every day. So she's not doing anything extra. It's just shifting your day a little bit. But the person that gets left behind in all this, there's celebrations for Ricky Lee joining Drive. Celebrations on social media. Everyone's excited. Celebrations for Kate Richie joining Breakfast. Celebration. No mention of Sarah, who by no doing of her own, she hasn't done anything wrong. They've said, you're out, Kate's in. As simple as that. Now, from what I understand, that potentially she's been offered something within the network, but that's in my opinion, it's probably hey, do you want to just float around and do some announcing or come and be a producer on the show? It's not what she's there for. So she said, no, I'm done. See you later. And I really feel for her, mate, because that's a really challenging thing to go through. And it's the nature of the industry. It's really bad.
It's usually the committed nice guys finish last, definitely in radio when it comes to talent on air.
I've been on both sides of that. So when I went to work on the Drive show in 2008 with Akmal, Cal and Ed,
You did that.
I replaced a guy by the name of Matt Baisley, who I know really well. Matt's working in radio again. He's does a lot of MCing in Sydney, and it was literally, you're going to go and join the show and you'll replace Matt. Matt didn't know that. They just told him. Matt didn't do anything wrong.
And
they
you were
just
mates
put
with
me
him
in.
back then as well?
I knew him well enough. The first thing I did when I went to Sydney following on from that is went and apologised to him. I didn't need to apologise. I'd done nothing wrong, but I felt like I needed to. And then the opposite happens with me when people have taken over from me doing jobs. It's a horrible thing that we don't talk about because right now, if you think that Sarah loves radio, what's she going to do now? She's going through a really challenging time where she'd be like, well, all the shows are the full now. October, November is when they start recruiting new shows and stuff. Her mental health would be really challenged. And if my past is anything to go by, the people that make those decisions aren't equipped to handle it the right way because they're so caught up in the celebrations of the news show. They don't talk about how it impacts people who are left behind.
It's-
Enough.
They're stuck in their radio bubble. They don't care about what goes on outside of it.
Yeah, and I got in touch with Sarah, and it doesn't matter what we spoke about, but I know that she's going to be fine because I'm in that position now where I'm fine. And me leaving Nova was the best thing that ever happened to me, and I should have done it earlier, and I should have been courageous enough to make that choice myself. But I think it brought back a lot of thoughts of there's someone sitting there watching everything happen and feeling helpless for something that they haven't caused themselves. Yeah. And it's hard, man. It's a shit industry like that.
Yep, it certainly is. And it's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. Like with the people that are in charge and these people that keep getting into those positions, it's not going to change. It's disgusting.
And you might know a lot about what it takes to make radio decisions, but what do you know about how to deal with human beings? They are very different conversations, but what people forget is ultimately human beings are the people that are going to these workplaces every day. You can't let a job title define how you act. You need to still be a human being and go, you know, the thing that was said to me when I left my radio job that always sticks in my mind is the reason why I haven't spoken to this particular person is they said, you don't know how hard this is for me to make you redundant. And I'm like, hold on, I'm the one being made fucking redundant, mate. Don't just go, this is a tough thing for you. You're in that position to make these tough calls. So actually do it with dignity and respect and authenticity. This is just a fast-moving environment. It's the same in sport. You just make these decisions and you move on and people get left behind. It's right now that everybody needs to be checked in on more to go, hey, you might be okay today, but you're going to grieve. I still grieve because I had a public job and lost it. And I just feel for her so much because you just have to keep on going. It's going to be harder for her because the two people she worked with, Fitzy and Wippa, they continue on their show and she's just not part of it anymore. Yeah. She didn't have a farewell. She didn't have a see you later, thanks everyone. She didn't have a farewell show. It was, she's out, she's in. It's full on.
Well, I don't know Sarah at all, but she seems like a very nice person and hopefully it all ends up being very good for her at some point.
Well, I didn't take a breath that whole time. So
yeah, it's been 40 minutes.
It was important to talk about it.
No, it really is because no one else is going to talk about it.
I don't think so. I don't think enough people talk about this stuff and the reality of what happens because I don't think enough people talk about mental health in the media out of fear of being a flight risk and out of fear of being too much work. Sometimes people like in the media you to just nod your head and work your ass off no matter what it takes, as long as you're serving a purpose for them at the time. But it's what happens after that where we don't realise how everything is affected. You have a look at all the people we've been involved in the media. The majority of our bosses have separated from their families.
Yeah.
They chose work over their families or they were so consumed in work that it damaged them, that it broke up their families. And I put myself in that position. That's what happened with my family. So you're like, just make sure you take the time to understand that it's not a job title that should define you or the industry. We are all human beings, all of us. Some of them are weird like you, Andy.
Thank you.
And what do you think, Rosie?
Yeah, I thought so.
Also, we need to say congratulations to Rosie. She had the kid.
I didn't want to say anything. I wanted her to do the whole like.
She's not here, mate.
I had the kid and
she's not here. She's put it on social media.
Oh, yeah, true.
And it rhymes. Nicoletta Panetta.
Yeah, that's so awesome.
Nicoletta Panetta.
Yeah.
Likes a feta. It's better. And wetter.
What? I think you should. I reckon it's time that you did a freestyle about it because just off the basis.
I can't do it today. I've started writing a rap for Rosie's kid.
All right.
I have. I thought about it because I only bring
just then or
no. I only bring out the rap when it's important. But that's if she decides to rock up again. And I don't think she'll be back.
She's pretty lazy.
Pretty lazy. She won't even listen to this. She complains.
No, she will.
Matt won't listen to this. He'll be like, oh, you guys hate me. Oh, I'll quit the podcast again. No. But all we want is our team to be back. Everybody just get back here. We're committed.
I tell you what, I've had some interesting people sitting in that chair this week.
Oh, I can smell it.
I've had a dude that used to be in a cult.
Oh, God.
I've had a Hollywood movie celebrity. And I've had a couple of authors, some podcasters of fringe shows, some fringe acts, and Jarrod Walsh. You know,
what a collection.
Yeah, I know. If only you could all be one human being.
Have you had old mate?
Which one?
Beep that.
Yeah.
beep all this.
Yeah, I think I will.
All right, let's get out of here. It's been great spending time with you. We'll play some games in the next couple of weeks. Andy's going to be travelling the world again, going to real crap places, but having a great time. Is that true?
Look, I love your support about it. I get to go out and meet great people, and country people are the best. They really are. Like, I go out there, I'm like, I'll marry you. I might have some kids with you. I'll have.
They're so simple, hey, in the nicest way possible. Relations with you. I'll have relations with you.
Yeah, they all remind me of Con and Lena. You know the type of
sweaty?
just good people.
Oh, God, I've never seen someone sweat so much.
Well, as you would know,
is it the saying he's sweating more than a bricklayer in Baghdad? Is that?
I reckon that's the best one you've done today.
Thank you.
As you would know, being a hair minimalist, when you sweat,
just say I'm bald.
when you sweat with no hat on,
yeah,
do you get quite shiny on the head? And is it quite obvious then, even more so because you are bald?
No, I put body butter on it.
So homemade or from the shops?
I'm sweating more than a dyslexic kid on Countdown.
Oh my God. Wrap it up, here's Con.
Are we wrapping it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for listening to Best Teammates. Follow us on socials and make sure you subscribe.